A new night, same two nerds, a brave new metropolis.
Dun, 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 dun.
That's right. And you were wearing all black right there, which is good for today's episode, right?
I know, like a boss. And that's a reference that's going to come back later.
Can't wait for that. What's happening, everybody? Welcome to DC Fan-imated. That's right. We're on a new night, our new night, because schedules had to change. And here we are. It's weird. I know. I get it. But hey,
I kind of like it, though. I'm liking the
feeling the same way.
Thursday.
I'm liking the Thursday as well. I mean, naturally, I do go to the movies on Thursdays, but normally they, like, even if I wanted to go to a movie tonight, it started at 5. So I would have been home just in time for this. And yeah, to be honest, it is kind of interesting and kind of cool.
Yeah,
like
well,
it.
it's great for me because, had family dinner, put them to bed. Heather and I were able to watch 2 episodes of Reacher before we started this. So it all worked out. And we got the dishes cleaned. I mean, we were productive, damn it.
So it's working out for you. Is all of Reacher season 2 out?
Yes, it
Yeah.
is. We
Okay.
were 4 episodes behind. So
Okay.
we watched episodes 5 and 6, and we still need to watch 7 and 8.
Okay.
So
I need to get on that too because I really enjoyed the first season for
season
sure.
2 is good.
Is it? Yeah.
Yeah.
I keep hearing. So yeah, I got to jump on that. But enough of the Reacher talk. We're gonna be, let's talk a little bit more about Superman multiverse kind of.
Okay,
Superman.
so I have to ask. At the
Okay.
end of our last episode, I dropped so many hints trying to stoke your brain about what Brave New Metropolis is because I know you, Dave. Titles
Yes.
of episodes 9 out of 10 times mean jack shit to you. So, how many seconds into this episode did you go, "Oh, that one"?
Oh no. It was when I set up the thumbnail, as per usual. When I typed it in and I saw Superman in his black costume with his red, yeah, I was like, how? I mean, I literally, I said that. I went, oh shit. I did that. I'm by myself, nobody here. I literally went, oh yeah, didn't look at it before, or anything like that. But when I set up the thumbnail, because I set it up before I watched the episode, and sure enough, I was like, duh, this one,
That one.
my God. And good to see you there, Kenneth. Kenneth is in there right there. Always good to see you, buddy. But yeah, it was just like one of those where I went, oh yeah, and everything started coming back to me. The statues of Luthor and Superman, and Jimmy with his his big huge mullet that he has and his whiskers.
Once again, that 90s mullet. All the mullets in the 90s. We've already seen. I mean, it's very, very evocative of the one Dick Grayson has because we've already seen that one.
True. That is very true. This one definitely steals the show when it comes to a big, huge, long mullet. But I just love the fact that it's like, yeah, Jimmy probably can't grow too much right here. So they just added little whiskers to his face to be like, hey, this is kind of like a dystopian reality right here. And he hasn't shaved. So they added like those little whiskers. I like it.
It's a nightmare, you might say.
Ooh, with a K?
Maybe there was no Batman, even though the music sounded very Batman-esque. I'm going to point. It might be the clip you show tonight, but Michael McCuson did the music for this episode, and there was a couple of times I'm like, this sounds very Gotham to me, but okay.
Interesting. And go ahead and exit out and come back in. You know what's happening. Even on Thursday, it still happens, folks. So, but yeah, I mean, let's face it. When it comes to Superman turning, I was just saying, like, when it comes to Superman, getting this black costume, I mean, let's face it, Lois, she needs to stay alive or else.
Yeah. I mean, we've got the Nightmare, we've got Injustice. I love it how some people there are some people who make the argument that, oh no, even if Lois died, Superman would never go bad. And yet every story of Superman going bad usually involves Lois like biting the big one at some point. So
Exactly. So if even right here in Superman the Animated Series,
it
and
should chronologically happen first.
Yeah, if you think about it, yeah, that's true. That is a good point. So maybe they just kind of like set the stage when it came to something like this, because this is a good episode. I really enjoy this
It's
episode.
a solid episode. It's one of those
Yeah,
episodes that if the animation had been better, it
yeah,
probably would have elevated the episode, but the story was strong enough that it's still a highly enjoyable episode, and another one of those that as soon as you tell me it's one of those that as soon as you say the title, I go, "Oh, yeah, that one."
oh, yeah. See, that wasn't me. I was like, huh, until I typed it in. But anyways, yeah, we start off the episode, of course, with Jimmy and Lois with Professor Hamilton, and he's basically created a machine using the Phantom Zone Kryptonian technology to be like, hey, maybe this could transform us, to another dimension or whatever the hell. And I mean, immediately I was like, oh yeah, the cracked glass.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
That really stood out. I was like, "Oh yeah," because when he turns on the machine, I mean, nothing seems to happen. But then Lois goes, "Oh, wait a minute. When I look in between the two pillars, I see cracks in the windows right up here. And then if I look on the other side, the cracks are no longer there." And I was like, "Oh yeah, oh yeah." It all just started flooding back to me
Yeah,
with that.
the pillars made literally made a window into another dimension, which is cool. Of course, in my mind, there's also a part of me looking at Professor Hamilton going, "Why are we messing with Phantom Zone technology?"
Do you remember what this does? Like, hey,
I
you've had
know, right?
like, yeah, professor, remember, you might not want to, I mean, remember what happened when, people got let out of certain, dimensions. And yeah, might not want to do this. You've had some trouble with this Phantom Zone before. But hey, he's a scientist. He's
They,
curious.
I know. It goes back to the whole Jurassic Park thing. We were too curious, asking ourselves, could we do it? We never stopped to ask, should we
Should
do
we
it?
do it? Yes. Chaos theory right there. That's what he wanted. But yeah, so we see that. And then she sees that, and then of course this is when obviously the portal or the dimension opens up, where Lois, of course, gets sucked into this
Yeah, it's a little awkward though. Like she
alternative.
sticks her hand into nothing. It's like though it's like let me stick my arm conveniently into the spot where the portal is going to be.
Yeah.
I It was animated a little funky to go, "Oh, that's convenient, Lois."
Well,
Yes.
again, it's they got to fit everything into 22 minutes, so they got to like get her into the other dimension as quickly as possible, I guess. So they're like, yeah, let's just have Lois be curious and reach into there. And then, of course, she gets sucked into this alternate reality. And well, I mean, it's very dystopian. It's very tyrannical, and yeah, we get the heads of Superman and Lex Luthor back to back together, and that's always like that's some Planet of the Apes type shit, you know.
Well, no, it's also the fascist imagery throughout this
Mhm.
entire episode. I mean, that
Yeah,
is straight out of Soviet Russia. Like here, it's like there's Lenin, there's Stalin. Let's build these huge statues. And of course, the cops are dressed like they're straight out of the SS.
and
And
we got
it's
Turpin. We got Turpin dressed up, all ready to go, and approaches Lois, and he's just like, well, he's Turpin. Let's
it's
face it,
Turpin.
he's
It's
still
there,
Turpin.
and there's a curfew, and of
Yeah.
course, no one should be out. No one should be out, after curfew.
Oh man, that's scary. Yeah, there's the whole curfew thing, and then of course Turpin is like asking for her like, badge or pass, or it's he's
Like her
basically,
her curfew card. Yeah.
yes, or like a hall pass,
Yes.
something like that. But then, of course, there's an explosion that happens, and we got like a group of people breaking into somewhere, and this is where we actually see good old Jimmy with that long hair and a trench coat, Nightmare Jimmy, I guess you could say.
Yeah, because but they're breaking into a LexCorp facility for some reason that we will discover later.
Of course,
But even before
big
then,
plot.
Lois saw the
Yeah,
broadcast.
yes,
There's always. I'm trying to think the last time I saw one of these in one of these dystopian stories, but there's always the Superman thanks you for your cooperation because this is all about trying to make you safe. I mean, they even say make Metropolis safe again. And I was like, wow,
oh,
okay.
That's a
was,
little eerie, especially with current. Yeah,
I
it's
know. I was
yeah.
like, oh, all
Make
right.
him, huh?
Okay.
Anyways, you're pixelating again, man.
Ah,
Man, this is gonna happen more on a Thursday. Who knows? But yeah, make Metropolis safe again. Whoa! I mean, what was Trump just like watching this and going like, "Hey, we could just change a couple of things when it comes to that." Would be interesting. But anyways, but yeah, the make Metropolis safe again. I know it is always kind of funny because anytime like you watch something like this and you see something like that and it's like, oh yeah, it's for the greater good, but then you just going, there's like nobody out in the streets, everything looks kind of run down, you got guys breaking in somewhere that looked all run down and everything, and it's like, is this really like, this is really what they wanted here? But I mean, obviously we find out that one person wanted it like this, the other person maybe not so much.
yeah. But I also think it's interesting, like even the symbol, because even the television screen was shaped like the
Yeah.
outside of the shield. But the Superman symbol, if that's not an SS lightning bolt looking thing, I
Yes.
mean, that is, once again, so evocative of fascist imagery just with that. And then, of course, everyone's got the black uniforms with like the knee-high boots and the gloves and the hat. And it the reason I bring that up, especially when we see Superman's costume, because he's got
Mhm.
the black gloves, he's got the black boots. I made the joke about, like a boss. Have you heard of the fashion designer, Hugo Boss?
Of course.
He designed the SS uniforms.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I was about to say, like, it is interesting when you look into the history of like designers and what they have designed in the past. And the fact that you brought that up, I was like, oh, yeah, I know where you're going with that. Because when you said Hugo Boss, I was like, oh, yeah, they probably designed something really bad in the past, didn't they?
Oh, yeah, yeah, the Nazi uniforms and the
Yes.
SS
Yes.
uniforms. Yeah,
Yes.
mhm, yeah.
Ah, yeah, it is pretty crazy when yeah. I mean, you start digging into some of that history, you go, "Oh my god."
Yeah,
That's right.
there's a line of, "Oh, shit."
Yeah, you're like, "Oh, wait a minute, and I'm wearing their t-shirt right now. Holy Lord," or I'm driving their car or something like that. You just kind of go like, "Whoa," when you look in the history of some of these companies and what they've designed in our in the world's history, that has not been so great. That's for
Yes,
sure.
but very stylish,
Very
unfortunately.
stylish. I mean, hey, Superman, you go, I'm gonna get rid of the cape. I'm gonna get these black boots. Essentially, he's looking pretty stylish. I mean, I think the boots are a little too much, but hey,
The boots are a bit much. A little, they go a little pirate on me, but,
but
I
other than
I
that,
other than that, but I also appreciate that, of course, Lois is watching Jimmy and his crew break into this facility. And then, of course, who shows up but, our Lord and Savior Superman. And he's drawn very. Did you detect that he got drawn with like bags under his eyes? Did that
you
strike
know
you?
what? Now that I'm thinking about that, it's like, yeah, he did look a little haggard a little bit.
Because even listen to Tim Daly's performance, like,
Mm.
he sounded, and this is the only way I could describe it, he sounded tired. L
Interesting. I didn't really take it account, but now that I think about it, I think you're absolutely correct on that.
Yeah, because it's almost like, "Oh, this again." Like
Well,
he's bored or
look at him in the thumbnail. Look at that face.
Yes.
He's just not a happy person at all. I mean, obviously we know why, because what gets explained right here, because Jimmy is surprised to see Lois. And then, he basically, they give that, like, hey, yeah, you're supposed to be dead. You were like investigating, you were working on this inner gang piece when it came to a story, and then that caused you to get killed, and Superman just made it there at the last minute where he couldn't save her. So, I mean, yeah, I mean, I guess that's just going to make Superman just obviously not be a happy camper.
No, not at all, and so he's gotta crush the rebels.
There you go. And but yeah, so we of course we see that, and we see that Superman has teamed up with Luthor, which Lois is like, what the hell? And then it's revealed that what Jimmy was actually there to steal was some kryptonite, of course.
Of course. And of course they go down. Now, and this is interesting because all the crew gets taken out
Yeah.
except for Jimmy. Jimmy survives, gets with Lois. They escape to their hideout in was it the sewers? Like were they hiding
Yeah, it was kind of like
underground?
that, a little
Yeah.
Demolition Man-ish kind of thing. Like, it kind of reminded me of like Demolition Man a little bit. Remember? You know?
Oh yeah, I remember
Yeah.
Demolition Man. I need to
Yeah.
watch that movie again. That's
I love that movie so much. It's
ah,
just it's so 90s.
it's so
It's
90s.
so 90s because the future was ridiculous and so many people, Sylvester Stallone, Wesley Snipes, Sandra Bullock.
Bullock,
A
yes.
fresh face Sandra Bullock. Oh my God. Such a great movie.
It really is a good movie.
Oh yeah.
And then of course, they get busted because that's what always happens is that, the fascist regime always finds the pocket of the rebels. And I love it that, when they show up, who's in charge of this particular, group of fascist soldiers? It's Mercy.
Of course. Why wouldn't it be? Why wouldn't it be? Of course, she's going to be, handling all that. But yes, they do all that. And then, of course, she wants to interrogate Lois herself. But, she's just going to bring her to Lex.
Oh, by the way, I totally missed a little Easter egg earlier that
Really?
I didn't mention. Okay, so back when Jimmy and his
Before you do
crew
that, you're pixelating.
ah,
Yeah. Damn it. I tell you, I don't know. Man, Thursday's going to be worse than normal. Jeez. I don't know why that happens, but we'll see. But yeah, Mercy. All right, you're back.
totally blaming the winter weather we're having right
It
now.
could be that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, go ahead. What you were saying?
So when Turpin calls in the attack of Jimmy's group on the LexCorp facility, did you notice the address?
I did not.
9th and Ross.
Nice. Oh, of course. Yes. Nice. That's
So
awesome.
I'm like, oh, this has got to be an Alex Ross reference.
Of course.
It's gotta be.
There's no way that it's not. You put Ross in something like that, it's Alex Ross. Let's face it. Come on.
Yeah.
Got it.
I was just like, I love it how my ears just perk up and go, okay, that was a reference. That was
I
subtle.
didn't even hear that. Did not even hear that. I love that. That's freaking awesome. So of course she gets taken to Lex. And then of course Lex tells Mercy that, that, oh yeah, hey, this does seem like it's Lois, because obviously they're like, wait a minute, what the hell? And poor Lois has to do all this, craziness while she's wearing her normal, like, her purple jacket, the skirt, and the high heels,
Yeah, we're gonna talk about those heels later, by the way.
right. But of course, she gets that tear in the shoulder of the jacket. You know how like the animated series loves to do that tear of the shoulder right there.
Well, that tells you that you've been through something.
Yes.
It's right there. I mean, how many times have we seen that? Like Bruce Wayne's jacket gets torn right there.
Anybody's jacket. Yeah.
Oh my, remember the bums from the
Yes.
Forgotten? All
Uh-huh.
of them. It was right there. So it's
Always
the
a tear right at the shoulder. I mean, I guess they just need to make those jackets a lot better when it comes to the animated world. But yeah, so we got that, and then Lex is worried that it's like, oh yeah, this sounds like Lois Lane, the way that she's talking, the way that she's, just the way that Lois is, and he's worried
the
because he's like,
insolence, the
yes,
rudeness.
it seems like her. And then he goes like, oh man, because he doesn't want to tell Superman because he's already a little difficult to work with. So no matter, even though we're in this dimension that has, Superman and Lex Luthor teamed up, they still don't see eye to eye on, I guess, everything, and Lex is very much running things where Superman doesn't even know certain things that are happening, which of course we find out a little bit later, of course, in the episode. But it's just this shows you right here where he's like, Lex is like, this is going to screw up everything. If she's alive and if he knows about it, oh boy, we're
this whole
yeah,
enterprise is blown. Like the
yeah.
only reason Superman's in on this at all is because Lois died, and that was the inciting incident for him to, start treating this like a war, as he says. And that was something that sounded very Batman like. Not
Oh
gonna
yeah.
lie.
Very true. And then, but then naturally Lois is gonna get away from this. She also runs into Angela, who was she was part of the news, right?
Yeah,
Angela?
Angela Chen is
Yeah,
the
Angela Chin, yes.
yeah,
So she
she's the
runs into
anchor.
her.
Yeah.
We get like that version of her too. Like, oh my god, there's Angela. And it's like, Angela? Like what? Okay. So it was like
Can
one
I
of those.
borrow $1?
Yeah, that's right. Lois, can I borrow $1? Yeah, that's right. That's fucking great. And then of course we get this chase sequence with Lois, like I said, running
In
around
heels.
in heels. I mean, let's face it, this is Jurassic World, the first one, with poor Bryce Dallas Howard, running through the park in the I know, right? It was like, can we just get her some shoes, some regular shoes?
But not only does she have to run around, she ends up climbing. She Tom Cruises
Yes, she Mission
that.
Impossible 1, 2, not 1, 2.
No, two.
Yeah,
It's the barefaced rock climbing from like
yeah.
the intro to Mission Impossible 2. That's what this is. And she's climbing it in her skirt, in her heels. I'm like, how you don't even have like the special dust that Tom Cruise had. It's like,
No.
how are you climbing up the top of these men's faces? I
Oh
don't
man,
know.
she's climbing up Superman's face, and she settles on like the part of his nose, where it's like right here with the nostrils. So she's able to hide right there. She's got a gun because she stole it from Mercy. So she's firing. I mean, it's a cool sequence because she's firing at the helicopter. She hits the light, so then they can't see her. And then of course she climbs up even more. She climbs up on top of the head, and then it's just like, man, she's a good climber. Hey, little did we know, right? That we already knew that Lois, she learned from her dad that she could fight, but damn, we did not know she could climb.
I know, right? I'm sorry. I just watched that. She was like Spider-Manning that thing. I'm just like, what?
They had to make it dramatic, Scott. They had to
make it dramatic, but it was the one part of the episode that just like,
a little too much.
It was a bridge too far. That was an uncanny valley. I just couldn't go with them on that one.
But then of course Superman shows up, and naturally, what does Lois do after all this craziness? She faints.
Yeah.
She faints.
But then, of course, what does Superman do? Super speed catches her.
Dude, that was cool, though. I love that.
That was cool, yeah.
And then he already has her. Like, my God. That's pretty cool. And again, you're pixelating. So, yeah. No. Yeah. So, but yeah, I love how Superman just swoops in and grabs her. It's so just romantic because she's and just whoosh, right in there. So it's just really cool that he did that real quick, so.
Man, this from this dystopian dimension sucks.
I know, apparently, it's because you're wearing all black. We're both wearing black. That's what's happening. We're in a multiverse. But yeah.
Black. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, tangent. Declan wanted to watch the first 2 Iron Man movies, so and he'd never seen them before. So that was a joy and an experience. And
I'm sure
I love me some AC/DC.
Right? No, that's good. People give shit to the second one, but
what? I've never understood that. Is it as good as the first one? No,
of course not.
But I still enjoy the second Iron Man movie, right. And my 7-year-old was all in. We didn't watch The Incredible Hulk because he just wanted to go straight from Iron Man to Iron Man 2. I was like, but never
chronologically, mind. I know he's like, but yeah, it's all good. Well, you can maybe go back to it,
We're gonna have to before we hit the Avengers.
There you go. You have to get all that. Yeah, you have to at least get that first phase. You have to watch all those for sure. So, but anyways, so Superman. When talking to Lois, he always, said that he wondered if there was like other dimensions and whatever the hell. And of course, he explains that he wanted to be, wanted everything to become like good and save Metropolis. But, he teamed up with Lex Luthor.
But he had the organization. He had the resources.
Of course.
He handles the day to day. And I'm like, Yeah, not your best move there, Soups.
He wasn't thinking clearly. He lost the love of his life, and that's the thing. And this episode really does move forward the Superman and Lois
The Superman
relationship.
Lois relationship, yeah,
Yeah,
I think as far as the animated series is concerned, like this is the episode that really kind of I mean, they've been flirty, but
yeah,
this is the one that I think really lets Lois know what Superman feels.
exactly. I mean, when you go to an alternate dimension, and he turns into essentially a fascist because you died. Yeah, that's there's some feelings there.
Yeah,
I'm just saying.
there's some heart. There's some
Yes,
heart there, you know.
yeah, you might want to take notice, and she does. She takes notice when it comes to this. So, and then of course Lois tells Superman that Lex tried to kill her and everything. So of course he's naturally just like, this isn't good. So then Superman's like, well, yeah, this isn't great. And then Lois takes Superman into the underground where all the people are hiding out, and
No,
Superman gets
that wasn't
yelled.
even that was a holding cell. Like that
Oh,
was
yeah, that's right. The holding cell. You're right. You're right. Sorry.
yeah, so basically she showed him the equivalent of the concentration camp that they're all being, held in, and Superman's like, "What the fuck? Like
Yeah,
this
this is not what I signed up for.
No, this
No.
wasn't my plan."
Yeah. As much as with everything that was happening, and just trying to save Metropolis, this is not what he signed up for. And then, of course, he shows up to Luthor's office and starts taking out the guards and everything. Luthor, of course, sees it on the screen, and it's just like, boy. But of course, Luthor, he has his little green rock just in case something like this happens, and
Which
uses it.
is funny to me because the whole way that this scene is staged, like where he's like literally holding the rock in his hand and the way he's holding it up, we're gonna get to an episode of Justice League where I feel like this entire scene like plays itself out all over again. Not gonna
Mm,
lie. So
interesting.
I'll point it out when
Bookmark
we
it.
get to Justice League. Yes.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, that's gonna be fun. And then so then of course that's happening. He pulls out that, and then Lois tries to like intervene, but of course we get Mercy that's right there, and then of course they have their little battle that happens, and then
Yeah, which is funny how Lois decides to do a sliding kick with the ankle that got shot. Did you notice that?
hey, you got again. Lois is just a flat out badass.
I
She
mean,
just
you
has
know
to
what?
be a
Her
badass.
ankle got shot. It's wrapped up. It's bandaged, and that's the one she uses to take out Mercy.
It
Lois, you're a
looked cool.
champ.
Yeah, she's a champ. She's gonna feel that later when she goes back to her
God, I
dimension.
would.
She's gonna be icing that thing and just be off. She's gonna be sitting down for
Oh, there's
at
gonna be
least 5
Epsom
days.
salts. There's going to
Yes.
be a little foot bath. And
Oh yeah.
all of it. There's gonna be a
Totally.
spa day, probably.
Yes, exactly. So then, of course, naturally, like we got all the group, the Jimmy group, that is trying to retaliate against Lex Luthor and all that. And then Lex just runs over to his special little ship, or jet, whatever the hell he
Yeah,
has.
it kind of looked like a really fat Harrier a little bit.
Eh, what's a fat Harrier?
No, a
What'd you say?
Harrier. I said it looked like a fat I was talking the Harrier jet. Remember from
Okay.
the end of True Lies?
Okay. Okay. There you go. All right. I was like, fat Harrier. What? Okay, but now I
I've
get.
missed this, Dave. I've missed this. Not gonna lie.
Like, I was like, huh? Oh, okay. That was funny. It's like, but now I get what you're saying. Now I get what you're saying, where it's like, truly, yeah, True Lies. Okay, totally. Now I'm there. Now I'm
Okay.
there. Now I'm there. That was great. But this is where we're gonna, of course, get to our clip right here, because this is where the action and how we get it resolved. Come on, you stupid not HBO Max, but Max, whatever the hell. Come on, what are you
Twitter
doing
X,
here?
HBO Max. Stop changing the names of these
I
things.
know, right? Oh my god, this thing, of course, is not up. There you go. Or now it's working. I swear. Chrome just frustrates me sometimes. But here we go. We're good. And here we go right here. We get in there.
See, vertical takeoff like
Yep.
a Harrier.
Yep, there we go. I get it. There's the Lex emblem on the building.
Oh,
get him, Superman.
This is the part that sounded very Batman-esque to me.
Okay, yes, because the score is it's not the normal Superman score, yeah?
Yeah.
Dun, 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 dun.
I love how Superman like spends so much of this like hanging on to the jet.
Right? Like you could actually fly beside it, can't you? But I think he's a little weak.
Weak, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's totally.
Uh-huh.
Especially when he's about to get like another dose of it right now. I also love how he can just pull a giant rock out of the inside pocket of his jacket. And this part's cool too, is that I remember Lex dies in this episode.
Yeah, I know, right? They just flat out kill him.
I know, but you notice how it's Superman's responsible, but it's not his fault. Like he was literally just trying to hang on to the jet, and his strength ripped it off, but he wasn't trying to kill Lex.
He wasn't trying to. But it's just like it's crazy because I was like, wait a minute, they did just kill Lex, didn't they?
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, they just flat out was like,
used to be a place for ideas.
And I like this line right there.
Can be again.
Ideas and hope.
But will the people ever trust me again?
It'll take time.
I've got the time for them and for you.
Aww.
Lois!
And then here we go. We got like the flash sequence. Bruce! Bruce!
Am I too soon?
To me now.
I never thought I'd lose you twice.
Will it change anything?
For me. But not for Metropolis.
Not for Metropolis.
But listen to Tim Daly's performance right there. He's just so
sad.
So sad. So exhausted.
And then we get the kiss. Oh, we get the kiss.
Oh, and the swelling score. It's like that's music to kiss to.
Of course, she's got to look back. Aww. And then, of course, Superman has to look at himself. Hey, you're a good-looking guy. Your costume looks ridiculous. You know? So, yeah, there you go. There's that little ending right there. Woof! But...
And then, of course, you know, we end up back in the original dimension, you know, with Superman carrying Lois and basically Lois inviting Superman out to dinner. And
isn't that a little personal?
It's like better. What'd she say? Like better now than never, or something something like that.
But basically, she's just, you know, she's realizing, I think this guy might be in love with me because I'm in love with him. Hey, you know, after seeing an alternate dimension where he turns, I mean, essentially to the dark side because, you know, I was dead. So I think
might mean he has feelings.
He has feelings. So shoot your shot. Shoot your shot, Lois. Nothing wrong with that. But there you go, guys. There you go.
Such a memorable episode of this series.
Yes, it is a memorable, you know, and it's a good like multiverse kind of episode, you know, and yeah, it's just enjoyable. It's a good episode. Really enjoyed it.
And it's not the last one we'll see as far as the animated universe is concerned, because you know we got the Justice Lords coming up later on. So
yeah, but what do we got next week?
Next week we're gonna have some monkey fun.
Wait, shit. What's his? It's Lois's monkey, huh?
Yes, it is. Yes.
I can't remember his name. Oh.
Do you want me to tell you? Do you want me to tell you?
If you want to, you might as well.
Titano.
Ah, there it is. Ah, okay. So now this one rang true because when he said, if they're going to label it monkey, yeah. All I remembered was, wait, Lois had a monkey at one point, right?
Yes.
I'm trying to remember what happens in the episode. I just remember she had a monkey. I'm not remembering anything else. So yeah, okay. Well, at least like some of it's ringing.
No, hey, you did that's good for you, Dave.
That is right there. I just couldn't remember his name. I was like, oh, hey, She had a monkey at one point, right? So that's cool. All right. Well, that'll be a fun one to watch. So what's it called again?
It's literally called Monkey Fun.
Monkey Fun. There you go.
No, that's why I said that going, are you going to realize that's actually the name of the
That
episode?
is the title. That is the title of the episode. So there you go, guys. Watch that. And like I said, we are going to be on Thursdays at this time from now on, and I think it's going to work out for the best. I think we're going to enjoy this new time slot right here. So join us next Thursday at 8 p.m. Pacific time, and we're gonna have a little monkey fun apparently. So that's there it is. There it is. Good impression right there. All right,
hey, we're the monkeys, and we're
people
gonna
say we're
monkey
around. We're too busy singing to put anybody
down.
Oh, dude, I was obsessed.
That was a great song.
Fun fact: the very first concert I saw was the Monkees.
No shit.
Yes, I was probably like 4 or 5 years old, living in Washington, and we went to this carnival festival thing, and they were playing there. First time I've ever seen a live concert was the Monkees. Crazy. I remember my mom put earplugs in my ears because it was so loud and stuff like that. I don't really remember it. I just remember that was my first technically live performance concert that I saw was the Monkees. So love it. Anyways, all right, send us off, Scott.
Well, of course, you can find me on Twitter at ScottDC27. You can find me on Instagram at McMurlin. You can find me on Vero at Scott McClellan. You can find my podcast at DC Squadcast, wherever podcasts can be found. We're on Vero, Facebook, YouTube, with the entire network of shows at squadcastmedia.com. Our latest episode, which was our review of Aquaman, The Lost Kingdom, is available now.
There it is. All right, guys. Well, I can say now, since it's Thursday, see you tomorrow on the Vodka Stream at 7 p.m. Pacific time. And of course, we'll have a panel and talk about all the week's discussion. So see you guys then. Hit that thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, do all that. We love you. We'll see you next week, with a little bit of monkey fun. That's for sure. All right, guys. Talk to you later.